Alright, so I've got to respond. My buddy Crypto Yardy, fellow YouTuber, just posted on why daily divs is sustainable. So I'm going to talk to you in this video about why I have come to realize that daily divs may be sustainable, and I'm going to discuss also a little bit later in this video specifically I'm going to discuss specifically in this video some strategies that I would use if I was playing in the daily divs pool. Now, we'll give this caveat: I do have a small investment, but it is small investment over there, and it's just primarily I was just looking at the mechanics. Same thing I do. I made a video earlier today about the new P3D game Sacrifice. Hold on, let me pull that up for you. So here's Sacrifice. This is a part of the P3D ecosystem, and I made a whole video about this. My previous video was all about this. It's a very fascinating game. I don't have MetaMask on this browser, so you don't see a lot here, but when you have MetaMask, it gives you instructions, and you can look at my last video where I go into this in more detail, and I also gave some strategies for potentially playing this game. The single biggest one is, even though it's risky, when you lose at the lower level, you can easily go to the next level and you have an 80% chance of winning what you lost in the lower level, but you can watch that video for that. So the whole point I was making is with daily divs, I also, just like with these games, I put in a small amount of Ethereum just to play with them, to kind of see how they, how they work and that sort of thing. Before we go there though, before I get into daily divs, I got to give you this big shout out. There's some updates here to CryptoTab. They've got several new share features here. They used to only have, I think, 2 or 3: Facebook, Twitter, and email. Now they got Google Plus, they got WhatsApp, shared on Telegram, and Reddit. So that's pretty awesome. If you're not using CryptoTab the CryptoTab browser yet, you can check my video. There'll be a link down below. And as Yardy likes to say, you'll be supporting my channel. And let me clarify what that means. It simply means that it's because of interaction on my channel. It's because people either signing up with something that I'm talking about, or liking or commenting on my channel. That gives me support to move forward. Am I earning a living off this channel? Not even close. Not even close. At 1,000 subscribers, heck no. But it's fun to see people, conversing, and it's fun talking about what you're excited about, and it's fun to see other people becoming a part of it. But with that being said, let's dive right into daily divs. Okay, so here we are on daily divs, and one of the reasons in Yardy's video, he talked about, in fact, I should probably, let's see, let me do this. Okay, this is the video from Yardy's channel. I don't want to show my dashboard. I don't want you to see how much I have in there and either think it's a lot or think it's not a lot. It's not anywhere close to a lot if you knew what all I had in P3D right now. However, come over here to Yardy's channel, subscribe to his channel, give him some love, give him a thumbs up. He's a great YouTuber out there. But here's the thing. So on his channel, I'll talk about the sustainability, but just kind of talking about he mentioned. So there's 25% fee going in when you purchase DDT tokens. There's a 25% fee coming out when you purchase DDT tokens. That 20% of that fee goes to the exchange game, very similar to P3D. Where P3D is 10% going to the exchange, they got 20. 5% is the fund fee. Supposedly the 5% goes into help the lending platform. Supposedly, and I say supposedly. I'm not saying that it doesn't. I'm just saying I don't think there's any way to prove it other than what there's no way to know what percentage or how much of that is. And that's okay. I'm not saying anything against any devs or whatever. I'm just saying we're told that a percentage goes over, part of that 5% goes over there. What does the other part go to? Who knows? It's supposed to support the game. It's irrelevant other than knowing that you lose 25% going in, lose 25% coming out, 20% gets paid out in dividends. Part of the 5% going in and out comes to help keep the game solvent. I want to make certain you understand that it helps keep the game solvent, meaning at some point 1.3% daily return cannot go on forever. That's how Ponzi schemes collapse. In the beginning, you can always pay out a small percentage and it's not a big deal, but it doesn't matter what computer algorithm you use. At some point, the the weight of the entire group, the entire investors, the entire token holders is it's just too big. I mean, you just can't pay that out forever. So in Crypto Yardy's video, basically he talks about, you know, there's the 5% going in and out. Also, the tokens that are in this contract are also earning dividends from the 20% from the exchange that are helping make this solvent as well. Plus, he explained the card portion of the game, and this can be extremely profitable for the platform, and evidently this goes here as well. That's great, but at the end of the day, you can't ultimately earn a return for nothing. The exchange portion of the game is very similar to P3D. The reason you don't make money every single day is because there has to be transactions taking place, and you earn a percentage of the volume of the transactions, which may be 0, it may be 0.01, it may be 2-3%, and it can vary a lot depending on volatility. What's going to keep any smart contract platform moving forward is the volatility. If Daily Divs or DDT continues creating volatility, then the smart lending platform can go on for a long time because there's a lot of things feeding it. However, and I gotta tell you, there's a huge incentive not to pull any of your money out, because there's a 20% fee, 25% fee when you pull it out. However, at some point, the weight of the community, the weight of the investors, at some point there's never going to be enough money to pay this out. So what I don't like personally is Daily Div sustainable? In the short term maybe, in the medium term maybe, but if you're planning to think you're going to compound 1.3% forever, or it's going to always be here, I literally don't think so. And I actually think this is bad for the platform long term. I mean, all these YouTubers are like, oh, you know, the lending portion, the smart lending portion is so cool, it's so incredible, you know, we get paid every single day, and it's amazing because when you watch I watched a interview, or listened to an interview between Time is Crypto and the developer, and he specifically talked about, I mean, the developer, I guess his name's Jason, he specifically talked about everyone wants safety and security, and you got to release that to be able to embrace what crypto is and what cryptocurrency is all about. The challenge is, when he says that, the whole reason people like smart lending is they want to feel like there's this stable, consistent, secure thing going on. This 1% a day or 1.3% a day, and it's just crazy. It's just not. It's just not sustainable ever. So the moment that they included this smart lending, and when I first looked at Daily Divs, I didn't have the smart lending yet, but I mean, they just sealed their death wish. It will not. It 100% will not be able to continue. Now, here's what's okay. Here's why I think it's kind of okay. I mean, they're not tricking you. There's nothing shady going on here. They're showing you specifically how much surplus is currently available to pay out. That's what they're telling you right now. So, I mean, like it or hate it or whatever, I mean, consider it some form of total gambling. You can't consider it investing, because clearly at some point, no amount of volatility is going to be able to keep this afloat if people keep putting in money and they keep pulling out money. Like, no payment structure can continue like this absolutely forever, because at some point there's a critical mass function. When the critical mass collapses, the whole thing. So if you know that and you're over here playing around with Daily Divs, more power to you. So what's the strategy? Well, the strategy is this. The strategy is make certain that you're pulling out any money you're putting in. I mean, that's the strategy. And you can do that one of two ways. You can do 100% pull out, or you can do 50% pull out, 50% reinvest. But understand, this is kind of the dark side of cryptocurrency, because there's no way that the smart. I love the gaming aspect. I mean, I would like to see other things that can bring volatility. Here's the thing. Proof of Weekends, P3D, DDT, none of these smart platforms are going to be, none of these smart contract platforms, these dApps, are going to be able to continue until they can create a use case where people want to hold the token or interact with the token outside of just the money. They've got to want to be able to interact with it, use it. It's got to be able to be used for some purpose outside of just the money. And right now, none of the platforms have actually gotten to that space yet. I think P3D might be the closest just because of their history of original development. And we'll continue to see what DDT is coming out with. You know, they're coming out with more games, etc., etc. We'll continue to see. What I'm seeing is a lot of, I don't want to say trickery, but I'm seeing a lot of sort of kind of gimmicks to stall what could be an inevitable collapse. I don't know how the system doesn't collapse on itself through smart lending. And if I'm wrong, please feel free. Someone else create a video and let me know. Anyone create a video, let me know why I'm not right in what I'm saying related to the DDT lending platform, particularly. But if you're over here, you're in the exchange game, it's very similar to P3D. And maybe part of the strategy is put money in DDT lending, pull out 50% of that and just hold it on the exchange and let the other 50% reinvest here in DDT lending. And then what you can do here is once you have money in the exchange, no matter how small it is, 50% of it keep in the exchange, 50% of it withdraw to Ethereum. And maybe you can go that route, and that's good as long as the platform lasts long enough, I guess you could say. That's the thing that makes me kind of wishy-washy about this whole thing. I'm like, you know, I think there's a lot of interesting things here. Concept-wise, a smart contract's interesting, but it's gonna just, I don't know how it doesn't ultimately just collapse on itself. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to be doing another video here in a little while on either, I don't know if it'll be today or it'll be later, but it's going to be on Raffle 3D. Stay tuned for that.